think when you give your life to Christ, all right, now you talked about the Lord, you still cussing. Give me a second. I've been cussing for 25 years and I've known Jesus for 10 months.
Yeah.
All I have to do is keep my eyes on him.
Right.
And he will convict me and start to slowly purify my heart. My relationship with God is not horizontal. I'm not worried about y'all. I got my eyes on him. And the more I walk with him, things just start to shed off. I don't even want to have sex no more. I don't even have the appetite for liquor no more. But if you don't go to him first and you start saying, okay, I got baptized yesterday. I can't do the drugs no more. I can't have the sex no more. You're going to go back to it anyway because your heart wasn't changed.
That's good. Yeah,
so let me go to him first. And as he convicts me and changes my heart, it'll just naturally happen. I didn't get baptized and go to God and say, after my encounter, which was nuts, and say, I can't do this no more. No. I didn't freak out. I said, okay, I'm going to just walk with him. I'm going to just walk with him.
Okay,
Sister
Simone.
Rush. It ain't no rush. It ain't no rush. I got so many other things I'm working on. It's no rush. And guess what? I'm celibate now because I'm not dating. I don't know what's going to happen in my life. I'm going to try, but I don't know.
I feel, okay, can I speak to that?
I'm not being tempted right now, so it's easy. I'm an open book. I've had threesomes. I've done crazy stuff. I done took drugs. I had an abortion. I'm an open book.
Okay.
I've done it.
Okay.
But it wasn't a lifestyle, but I did it.
Okay.
Just like I had an abortion. I didn't have 12, but I had one.
Right.
Right? So, and I say this I'm not being funny. I'm saying it because there is somebody on the other side of this. And it's going to make me emotional.
It's okay.
There's somebody on the other side of this that is doing those things, that is going through that. It's okay, baby. It's okay. That's what people that are trying to come to God need to hear. Because that's what I needed to hear. When people were judging me and pulling me, it's okay. People like Sarah Jakes, you, Tabitha Brown, it's okay. I see you. Take your time. I see your heart. You're trying. People don't need to be condemned all the time. Everything ain't got to be so heavy all the time. Why you doing this? Why? Okay, baby.
Yeah.
It's okay.
That's good.
It's okay. You keep your eyes on him.
That's good.
You don't focus on the people. You focus on God. It's okay. Drugs, it's okay. Alcohol, it's okay. Sex, it's okay. Now what you need to do, work on, you try to change, but keep your eyes on him. Keep your eyes on him. Don't keep your eyes on people. It's okay. He loves you and it's okay. So there's women that follow me that need to hear that. They don't need to hear, I've never done this, I've never done that. No, I've done it. I've been there. I can relate to you, girl. That's not listening. She ain't got no gospel playlist. She don't know who Lecrae is. She don't know Genesis. She don't know John 3:16. She don't know Revelation. She don't know. I barely
Straight to his face.
Genesis 1 and
They don't
1.
know you, Lecrae.
Give me a minute, Cray.
I'm with you. I got you.
So people need to hear it's okay.
Yeah.
And not just stay there. I'm not saying it's okay to stay there. That's not what I'm saying.
Right.
But I'm saying your past does not define who God called you to be and who you are. And if you're in a season where you're feeling convicted, your only responsibility is to move. When it's moving time, I'm so used to packing up and moving now. I don't ever even really feel like I fought it.
All right. So what did you think?
It was a lot. It was a lot. Now, the question I have is and I've watched this clip a couple times too. The first thing that jumps out to me is the okays.
Yeah, I made sure I left enough in there because she eventually tries to clean that up because it could sound like she's saying it's okay if you're doing drugs. It's okay if you're having. I don't think that's what she meant.
No, I think she meant it's okay that you struggle with those things. It's okay that you did that. You're still, you don't hate those things just yet, but you're trying to walk away from them.
Right. Yeah, I think that was ultimately her point. I don't know her, so this is not for her, I guess. This is for anybody who's in her situation. The only thing I would say is it isn't just a vertical relationship. I know what she's trying to say. It's don't let people distract you from your relationship with God.
Right.
It is also horizontal, right? God puts people in your life to help disciple you, to help you walk through it. You're supposed to have godly counsel. So it's not just vertical. It's not just what you think God wants you to do. There's people he puts in your life to help make sure you're not lying to yourself. Your heart is deceitful. It'll make you think God is telling you one thing when it's really another. Even when you read the Bible, it may make you think your interpretation of it should be this when it really should be that. So the people around you are important as well. So I would tell her, as I watched the whole thing, is make sure you actually read, go like deep into the Bible and read it for yourself, because I think a lot of Christians are relying on, what does it feel like to me? Should I feel like I should do this? I feel like God is telling me that, but find out what he actually said already first, you know? So that would be my only encouragement to her. But I think she's genuinely seeking. I would just encourage her to make sure she's being discipled. That somebody should be able to say, no, don't do that. And I get her point, but you may not have that much time. You see what I'm saying? Like it's like you got time. I don't know. I mean, like, there's a little bit of urgency on this. Like, it's not completely just take your time. Like, get to
relationship is important. What I hear when I hear her speak, I hear relationship over everything. I hear right where you are. Come to God as you are and walk as you are and make sure you're connected with Him. I think that's the most important. We're a lot of times we're introduced to God through religion. Like, we're introduced to Him through some form of religion. And I love the fact that Christians now are able to just say, man, outside of religion, man, all right, God, here I am. I'm a mess. I need your help. And I'm not basing it on what other people say, what other people think, that lateral. I need you. Yeah. And so I think that's the most important part that I took. And obviously you can take it out of context when you hear it's okay to sex. It's okay. If you just played that clip, somebody in trouble.
It'll be real unfair.
Oh my God.
I was like, nah, I gotta let her run.
I think too, though. I think like Sean was saying, like the vertical as well, the lateral is important. I think when you hear that though, if you're going to disciple somebody or going to minister to somebody in that circumstance, the way you approach them is key. I think a lot of times we come very dogmatic or very judgmental. Like, obviously, if they're new to this, they don't know how to do it. So come to them with grace. Come to them with love. Don't excuse sin, but understand they're not going to have it right on day one.
That's it.
It may take them a little time. So I think when I got what she was saying, just like, okay, Craig, give me a little time. You know, I think, like Sean was saying, you never know what'll happen tomorrow, but at the same time, if I'm coming to you and I'm talking to you, I gotta have realistic expectations. Like she said, if I've been smoking weed and having sex for 25 years, you coming to me next week and think I'm still not gonna have them urges, it's unrealistic. Shoot, I've been walking with the Lord for years, and if I walk in and I smell the right smell in the air, I'm thinking like, man, that mug, you know what I'm saying? Like, and for a minute, I gotta snap back into it, like, nah, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's just realistic, you know what I'm saying? So I think if you're gonna approach somebody and disciple somebody, do it in a spirit of love and have realistic expectations. Don't try to just bog down on them and expect them to turn everything around day one.
Y'all know who she talking to, right? She talking to us. Or she talking about people like us.
Yeah, for sure. You think we talk to her like this?
I mean, we have videos when we kind of went at B. Simone.
What's interesting is we probably do, and she should probably watch them because it wasn't her that a lot of it we were talking. It was the guests.
Oh yeah. Well,
and I think
London,
part of for her, I think she may not understand a lot of the heat she's getting towards her is because it's not just you and you taking time. You're actually talking to other people. You have a platform.
You have a platform.
So people are listening to what you, and they're like, no, don't tell them that. You know, so that's where it's like it's not just you. You are talking to other people.
And I think that's the problem with this situation. It's not the problem that she's saying that give her time. It's not the problem of, because we all, sanctification is a life process. And I think the problem is, like he just said, she has a platform, and when she get people on her platform, she doesn't sound like that. She sounds like it is what it is. You know what I mean? You ain't perfect, nobody perfect, so let's just, you know what I mean? And I think that's the scary part about the whole situation. You know, I've definitely been praying for B. Simone, but I think at the same time, it's just like on your platform, it's a little bit different. It does sound like, you know, we trying to figure it out, which is we all trying to, but at the same time, it does sound like, you know, we ain't perfect.
When she hit that, it sounded like she had somebody's face in mind, like she was talking to someone.
So people kind of do that when you're around somebody who you have a little bit more respect for, like a Lecrae or a pastor or something. Sometimes you put on your little, let me try to clean it up a little bit more than I would around somebody who you're more comfortable with. You're going to let your hair down a little bit more. You're going to say some things that you probably wouldn't say in a certain setting. I feel like she was trying to be transparent as possible, but it's a certain level of respect she probably got from Lecrae and who he is to where she was trying to clean it up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think people
I
switch
remember
up.
I remember when I first got saved, man, CDs, I'm telling my age a little bit. Man, I took all of my CDs instantly and pop.
I did the same thing.
Because it's that zeal. Like, when you first get saved, there's a zeal to kind of like live for Christ. Like, you want to do everything right. You want to stop the sin. You want to do so much at first. I think for me, what I'm looking for out of that clip is like a solution or something practical that people could go to say, okay, this is what looking to Christ looks like. This is what keeping your eyes on Christ looks like. Like he was saying, discipleship is so important, and we have to look in the text and say, okay, if God says that this is wrong, the way that I keep my eyes on him is by saying, okay, God, if you say that this is wrong, then change the desires of my heart to what I used to love, I hate.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like we're overcomers in Christ. And so if we keep saying that this is what we are for years, then we have to check, are we really looking at Christ? And is the Christ that we're serving or we say that we love, are we looking at the right Jesus? Because there are things in my life where I know I'm like, I've been saved way too long to still be dealing with the same thing. I've been struggling way too long, and I'm like, okay, Lord, am I not trusting you with something? Am I lacking something? Am I lacking accountability? It's like, yes, God, meet me where I am, but also at the same time, rid me of the things and help me to see what I'm doing wrong and change my heart. Like, that's really where that discipleship comes in. Because if we don't know how to look at Jesus, then we stay stuck for 5 years and we say, just give me some time.
Oh, man.
Just give me this. Just give me
fruit.
that. And it's like, yes, there's all the grace in the world, but at the same time, like, people should be able to see the Jesus in you and say, hey, I saw that fall off of you. You didn't do it. Doesn't take long for people to see that glow. I've seen people give their life to Jesus, and it's just, you see that there's something different about them. Even after 2, 3, 4 months, they're not perfect. I'm not perfect, but there's a zeal that changes you. You're no longer that person anymore. And so, I know where she is and I understand what she's saying, but I think we just need practical steps as it pertains to how to not love the things of the world anymore.
Yeah, I think another thing too is, and I just go back to discipleship. I think the thing about when we got to be careful when we just talk about we got to be careful when we talk about relationship, because I feel like sometimes now in the culture, relationship with God could be me isolated. And that's not what God wants.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
So
we got to figure that out I saw I think Dr. Mason talk about this. We talk about pure religion. What's pure religion? The scripture talks about pure religion being like feeding the widows, being there for people, being the Acts church, and being like having pure religion more than what American religion is, because pure religion is discipleship. Pure religion is walking people through the process of sanctification. Pure religion is seeing your community and trying to be the answer for the ills of your community. That's pure religion. And I think every time I hear people say relationship with Christ, or I have a relationship with God, it feels very, it's just me and God. And it's like, that's an easy target for the enemy when you're isolated by yourself.
There's that sanctification moment where we all have to go under, and that requires time, one-on-one time with him.
Yeah.
But we also not supposed to neglect the fellowship.
Yeah.
You know, and it's also a body. You got to keep in mind it's a body. Yeah. And body stays connected. So we have to stay connected.
Yeah.
But even Jesus, man, he went off and had his time.
And I'm not talking about like your one-on-one quiet time, you and God speaking to you and you going back and forth, you reading the word. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about when I've heard people say, I'm in a relationship with God, I don't need the church. I'm in
like the culture of secluding yourself from others.
Yeah, on purpose. Not like God is like excluding you because he's trying to form your character. Not that. You yourself is like, I don't need the church. I can do this by myself. And that's a lie from the enemy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll say this. One of the things that really makes me fear when we have these conversations with people with bigger platforms is, are they being told the truth? I have a friend who will call me and say, hey, bro, I'm doing this. I got this going on. Tell me the truth about what you think about it. And I give it to him straight, right? And it hurts. It hurts. It hurts me to tell him, and it hurts him to receive it. And we go back and forth with it. But at some point you have to be willing to hear that and know that, okay, this is a area of correction for me. Like I can't continue doing this if I feel like a lot of these celebrities, if they were told the truth, they wouldn't say half the things they say. And I'm not talking about her, but I'm talking about, the stuff that Kanye went through, the stuff that we hear Cardi B talking about, stuff we hear Glorilla and Sexy Red talking. Like it's a lot that you're hearing, but it's also men and women in their camp that keep them going in that direction.
Yeah, I think what we have to realize, and the point I think she's ultimately trying to make is right. There's things that I've done that are horrible. There's things that people on our team have done that are horrible. There's things that you have done that are horrible. Yeah. That is not the issue. There's no shame about what God brought you from. But when you agree to this thing, when you say, God, I surrender, what you're saying is make me into what you want to make me now, not eventually, like as soon as possible. You know what I mean? And there is a little bit of urgency I was missing from her voice was, if somebody is actively sinning, yes, there may be some time it takes to get them to shed that and keep going, but it should be an active pursuit. You don't just lay in it. You should be like, okay, I made a mistake today. Tomorrow I'm not gonna make that mistake.
It should grieve you. The intentions of the heart, like it should grieve you when you sin against God. If you really truly believe He delivered you from sin and death, nothing in you should want to remain in that. You should want to run toward Jesus with everything that you have.
Yeah.
So, like you
and
said,
it should not be okay.
Yeah, it shouldn't be okay. Yeah. So I understand what she was saying. It's okay. It's okay. I'm glad she cleared it up at the end. But like you said, that clip right there, that could have just. Ooh.
But what you said about time is key. I had a friend who was wilding out in the clubs. I was 30, she was 28, and she was like, I got this, I got that, and I was like, you need to get this right away. And she was like, no, I got time. 10 days later, she died.
Wow.
Didn't have the time. See what I'm saying? So it's really important that you look at it like, okay, if I'm going to be serious, I got to get serious and know that I'm coming
this day.
Yeah.